Hey guys, Philosopher here, and today we're going to go through the mutant nodes in the Doom Raid. So let's just get started, and I want to talk first about team composition. So the first node is actually pretty easy. The key character here is Doc Ock, and this is the team that I originally was running this node with. You use X23 to ability block Doc Ock, Sinister clones Doc Ock, and then it's an easy victory. You win every time, but you do need to have a big dad bros. Now I use Axemen instead, just because I want to make sure that Sinister's clone ability is ready for the last node, the boss node. We'll get to that later, but for now I use Axemen. As you can see, mine are almost 500k, but people are beating this node with even Axemen in about the 300k range. You don't really need to have Kitty or Iceman very big. It doesn't even matter for this node in particular whether they hit their debuffs or not. It's important though. You really want to have a larger bishop, and then you want to make sure that Jubilee can land her debuffs and that Beast is able to stay alive. I have both of them at G14 and I have a G15 bishop. All right, let's get started. We're going to be focusing here on Doc Ock at first. He's the key character to take down, and then you're going to just obliterate the other enemies that have smaller health pools to get speed bar for the Axemen. Now, one thing that in particular you want to watch for whenever you're raiding with Axemen, and it is your turn, you're going to want to look and see who has the assist now, because that's going to determine who you attack. So when we zone in here for a second, I want you to pay attention to that. So, now it's Beast's turn. Who has the assist now? It's Kitty. That means she's going to flip debuffs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack here to flip the debuffs from Kitty Pryde. Okay, now we have the assist here from Kitty. I'm going to attack Doc Ock because he's really the key one I want to have vulnerable on and so forth. So here we've got the assist from Kitty again. All right, let's see. All right, so here now we have the assist from Bishop. This might end up, you see that symbol? That's the assist now symbol right there. All right, so he is going to put his all right, so now what I usually do is I stun. So he put his regens up, but only really it seems like Sif got them. I stun Sif, and the reason I do that is so she doesn't taunt. Turns out here it didn't look like it landed anyway, but it doesn't matter. As you can see, it's really easy. Now we'll just have Bishop, gaining tons of speed bar for the team because he just can obliterate at G15 and the charged on him. And now we're going to buff the entire team and get ready for the second wave. We'll be using basics here, basically just to make sure all of our cooldowns are up for the next wave. Once Electro's blinded, she really can't do anything. Now the priority target for the second wave is Ghost, and then to a lesser extent Merc Lieutenant. We don't want Merc Lieutenant to get his buffs off on his team. We can stun Ghost here. Oh, she dodged. But now we have blind. Anyway, so the assist now here is going to be Jubilee. So I'm actually going to target Yellow Jacket to make sure that he's blinded as well. There you go. All right. So we will use the ultimate here just to get some easy kills for some speed bar. And then let's try to use her special ability here to get the blind spread to everyone. And we did. All right, well, this is easy. Now we're just in prepping cooldowns mode. I don't even think about this from here on forward. It's just a matter of hitting our basics, making sure we have our cooldowns ready for the next node. All right. Easy peasy, right? Obviously, this is with the 500k Axemen. If you have a smaller Axemen, you still will be able to get through it. There's somebody on our Discord, and the link is below, who got through it with even, I think, a little less than 300k on his Axemen, which is pretty amazing. Just goes to show how powerful this team is in raids. My team, however, only has 4 T4s on it. I have the Jubilee passive, I have the ult and the passive on Bishop, and the special on Beast. If your Axemen have more T4s, you could probably get away with a smaller Axemen. All right, now we're going to go to the tougher node. This node is very difficult for a couple reasons. First of all, these two bishops not only spawn with taunt and defense up, but they are extremely hard hitting because Bishop scales really well with gear. You also have Red Guardian spawning with taunt and defense up. And then, Captain Marvel ults right away. And then on the second wave, Magneto ults and blinds your entire team. And unfortunately, there is a blob there that, with taunt, distracts your entire team and prevents you from killing the Magneto quickly. All right. So let me just go through and show you a couple different teams here that I think are helpful. So first of all, the team that I use is, I do use the Dad Bros on this team. And originally the team that I used was this one. I actually would always be able to do a two-shot with this team. And Colossus would eat the hits from Bishop, and then Phoenix would eat the ult from Captain Marvel. So that worked pretty well, but then once Magneto ulted, unless Emma was ready right away to cleanse, you basically were screwed. You needed to quit out and go back into the node because everyone was blind and the team would get picked apart because the Dad Bros wouldn't be able to get any more speed bar. So now the team that I use is slightly different. I take off Emma and I put in Jubilee, and I put in Bishop, and I put in Beast. So this is sort of the three best members of the Axemen along with the Dad Bros. It works pretty well. The issue is just if Jubilee dies or if Beast dies early on, it's a problem. So you really want to get a blind on Bishop right away so that you don't eat all of Bishop's damage. So there is an RNG element. I don't think that this node is completely solved. I think that my team, if it was bigger, would have no problem consistently one-shotting, but I still sometimes run into trouble on the one-shot. So here, like I said, we're going to have the spawn on Red Guardian and Bishop going in. So the first thing we're going to want to look for is, because I think we're going to be able to attack early on with Beast or Bishop, is essentially who has the assist now. One nice thing about only having 3 Axemen is the assists are more likely going to be from good ones. All right, so we're going to, this is damage, so I'm actually going to try to take off, there we go. We took off the taunt, which is very good. And then here, this is the assist from Beast. That's also going to take off. Okay, so that flipped that. Oh, Beast is alive. Okay. So you can see the Dad Bros are doing a lot of damage. The issue is really just that Bishop. Okay, so we're going to try here to use this ult and try to take out maybe Squirrel Girl. Not enough damage. We're very fortunate he's targeting Longshot because Longshot is so beefy. I have a 7 red star Longshot. The disruptors don't matter. Okay, so we're going to try now to stun Bishop. If that lands, we're in good shape. It does. Okay, that helps us a lot. All right, so now we have the defense down there. We're going to, I would say, let's put the defense down on Squirrel Girl to make sure we get rid of her as well. We don't want her healing anyone or cleaning debuffs or anything of that sort. I think we're going to get rid of, of course he dodges. Oh, no, guess not. I guess he can't dodge while stunned. All right, so now we're going to, oof. All right, so now we're going to try to kill Squirrel Girl, which we do. Okay, so here's the other Bishop, and then of course we also have Magneto. So before Blob drops, we really want to do what we can to kill Magneto. Let's see if we can get it done. We're going to use her special here and try to spread the slow. Okay, that helps. And now we will use that ultimate from Bishop. Yes, we got Magneto down. We got that done. All right. Looks like we have this. There we go. Now, let's blind Blob. Did the blind not land? I don't know why not. We're going to do this because we don't even need Beast in the next node. And I'm doing this even though Blob has slow that he applies just to get rid of him because he's such an annoyance. All right, I don't even use the X-Men in the last node, so it doesn't matter. All right, easy peasy. We got that one shot now in the middle node. Now we're going to the boss node. All right, now in the boss node, I have a patented strategy that pretty much gets us the one shot every time. Here's the problem. You need to have a Big Dad Bros. But if you have a Big Dad Bros, you will always be able to get the one shot on the final node. Why is that? Well, let me just go and show you why before we get there. And it really has to do with the long shot passive. So the long shot passive does two different things. First of all, it gives speed bar to all of the X Factor, including himself, 20% speed bar whenever he or an ally crits, which is ridiculous because they crit all the time. In fact, my long shot has 65% crit chance. But then look at this. He gains 25% crit chance, and he gives X Factor allies an additional 15% crit chance on top of giving all allies 10% crit chance. So what does this mean? Well, if we clone another long shot, and yes, there is a second long shot in this node, that means that we're going to be getting 40% speed bar every time that we crit, and our X Factor going to have I think my long shot will have something like an 85% chance to crit. It's insane. So here's what I do. I put Phoenix here just to eat some hits, early hits. Emma's there just to cleanse the slow and to just, give some passive speed. And then Mr. Sinister's the one doing half the work by cloning Longshot. And then, of course, we clone Longshot, and where you have two long shots and we can auto the node. One of the issues is going to be timing out. I will show you how to avoid the timeout. Even on BlueStacks here, it's much easier on your phone or your iPad. It goes much faster. But even on BlueStacks, I've been able to avoid the timeout now that I've gotten better at understanding how to do that. All right, so this initial sequence always tends to go the same way, and I'll show you in a minute. So there's always this attack by Shatterstar, and there's some bleeds. All right, and so we'll do this here. Okay, he does his thing. Okay, so there you go. So she protects the whole team by putting them into stealth. And then she's not going to cleanse in time, so I'll just do this and put slow on the enemy anyway. Even though that means that the slow is going to remain on mine. We'll do this. She's going to eat a hit from Black Bolt usually. No, we get to clone beforehand. So there you go. We clone Longshot. Okay. And there we go. Now we can just auto. So this first wave actually is pretty easy. No one on the other team's going to get a hit. Get a turn. They're just going to all die. And we will be able to auto them all because I think the devs just totally screwed up when they made the X Factor team. They didn't consider how overpowered Longshot's passive is. It's why in my recent top 10 list, I had him, I think, as number 2 character in the game to upgrade for the long term after Doom. So after we're done with this wave, and one thing I would do is just focus Emma here because she's the one that takes the longest to get down with her diamond form. So I should have probably been focusing her a little earlier. But once we get to the next wave, we're going to have to take it off of auto, and I'll explain why as we're doing it. Really, the big issue is Taskmaster, because Taskmaster retaliates. So if you don't take it off auto, sometimes what Taskmaster will do is he will steal the defense up off of your characters. So we got to take it off of auto. We got to focus these other characters and just have Taskmaster eat some damage along the way. We also have to make absolutely sure that we don't put defense up on our characters using the ult from Shatterstar, because of course that would just mean that there's a chance that Taskmaster could steal it. And that defense up is so significant, that 50% damage, that what it does is it makes it so that it's actually slower than auto. Or so it's slower to do this, to run manual than to auto if he gets the defense up. So you want to make sure that you're doing this right. So I actually try to spread the damage here a little bit, get them down evenly, so that this way. So now we're not going to use that ability because that's going to give defense up to the team. I'm going to focus Zemo here. Okay. All right. You can see basically they don't even move. And there we go. We're back into auto. They don't even move the side because we have so many turns stored up on our speed bar that the X factor just keep going and going and going. Now, I don't know how multiple man's going to work with this. I don't even know if I'm going to bother because, frankly, we don't need to bother, right? This team one-shots every single time. We do have another wave after this, so actually, I probably should have tried to spread the damage out a little bit more. Let's focus Elsa now while we're doing it, just to make sure that we get everyone down. We do have a defense up here on Squirrel Girl, which is a bit of an issue. There we go. I wish the clone long shot was taking fewer turns because the clone long shot actually doesn't hit nearly as hard. There we go. I'm going to focus on Black Bolt because he's the beefier of the two enemies. We only have 38 seconds. Will we get it done? We'll see. Fortunately, my current big long shot, real long shot's the one that's moving. Okay, now we're down to the clone. All right, there we go. And we got it done. So we just showed you how to one-shot all the nodes in the mutant section of the Doom Raid. So if you liked this guide, please smash that like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, go to our Discord, link is below, and subscribe to our Twitch stream as well.